John goes through New York as time expires on his effortlessness period. He turns into a rear entryway and sees the TikTok man, one of the Bowery Lord's government operatives. He gets into a taxi, however the streets are gridlocked. With just 20 minutes until he is formally excommunicado, he chooses to get out and run once more, however not before he gives the driver a gold coin to get his canine securely to the mainland. He shows up at the library and requests a book, where he uncovers a secret compartment containing a few coins, a cross, a marker and an image of him and his significant other, which he kisses. An enormous man, Ernest, corners him in the shelves. John lets him know he actually has time left, however Ernest couldn't care less. Who will be familiar with a couple of moments? The two have a battle which comes full circle in John utilizing the book to break Ernest's jaw and snap his neck. However, it leaves him with a terrible cut injury on his shoulder. Thus, he visits the specialist at his street number, with just 5 minutes to go. The doc consents to help, yet needs to quit sewing partially through. The elegant time frame is finished. John's $14 million abundance is in full impact. Subsequent to sewing himself up and taking a few pills, John shoots and wounds the doc at his solicitation to convince the high table that the doc obeyed the excommunicado request. John leaves and is promptly set upon by an influx of professional killers. They corner him in a unique collectible arms shop, so John utilizes the old weaponry to kill them in a horrible series of battles, including a wide range of old-fashioned blades. John rises into the road and is set upon by additional professional killers. They follow him into horse corrals, where John utilizes the ponies and their strong kicks to kill a few enemies. He leaves the corrals riding a horse, however is trailed by 2 men on cruisers. John kills them both from horseback. John's abundance is raised to $15 million. John shows up at a theater, where he is told to exhaust his pockets and eliminate his belt. He meets with the chief and requests her assistance by introducing the cross he got from the library. They examine John's set of experiences. This is where he was raised. She takes him to the rear of the theater, past preparation ballet performers and jiu-jitsu grapplers, and asks him what he needs. He needs entry to Casablanca. She concurs, breaking all binds with him and marking him with the cross all the while. A secretive lady enters the mainland. She slides a coin over to Charon, who illuminates Winston, the supervisor, that an adjudicator is here to see him. In the wake of requesting to see Santino's body, the adjudicator illuminates Winston that he should resign from his job because of the way that he permitted John to live subsequent to spilling blood on mainland grounds. The Bowery Lord is visited by the adjudicator. He tells her that he is respecting the excommunicado. In any case, she illuminates him that nobody is liberated from the high table's principles and that he should leave town since he gave John a weapon understanding of what it would be utilized for. He snickers in front of her, guaranteeing that he can't step down from the lofty position since he is a privileged position. John shows up in Casablanca. Very quickly, he is set upon by 3 blade-employing adversaries. One is killed in the fight, however the battle is stopped by a man who illuminates them, both that the chief has conceded John's reprieve. The professional killer is troubled and endeavors to go after John, however, the man shoots him. He and John go to Morocco's mainland inn, where John is taken to see the supervisor. He sees photographs of a lady and her girl before 2 snarling canines come and stand watch close to him. The chief, Sophia, gets out of the shadows and shoots him in the chest. He tumbles to the ground, however, his suit is indestructible. She lets him know she should kill him, yet he presents a marker that she made with John a few years prior because of John having saved her girl. She asks him not to introduce the marker, but rather John demands that she should accept him to see her old chief. Hesitantly, she concurs. The adjudicator goes to a little sushi shop. The culinary expert is Zero, who perceives her coin and tells her he didn't anticipate her unexpectedly early. He definitely is familiar with John and is keen on chasing him down. The adjudicator requests that him do as such, as well as pursuing every one of the people who helped him. Sophia gets back to John vigorously outfitted. She conceals a weapon on one of the canine's vests. John guarantees her he simply needs to converse with her chief, yet entirely she has doubts. They show up at a mind-boggling and meet with Barada, Sophia's old chief. John requests that Barada take him to the senior, the person who sits over the high table, so he can set things right. Barada doesn't have the foggiest idea where he is, yet realizes that the senior just finds the people who he needs to find. He advises John to go to the desert and to follow the stars until he is practically dead, where the senior might track down him. Before they can leave, Barada requests a gift. He needs one of Sophia's canines, however she is reluctant to give the canine to him. He shoots it, all things considered. Obscure to Barada, it is wearing a tactical armor. John cautions her against looking for vengeance, yet Sophia shoots Barada and a battle with his staff results. The canine goes after Barada's crotch. When the watchmen are dead, Sophia shoots Barada in the leg and the two make their getaway, however more monitors are coming. They shoot right out of the complex, with her canines following her orders, and afterward advance toward the desert. In the theater, the chief watches an expressive dance execution by her understudies. In the meantime, her watchmen are being chopped somewhere near fierce however proficient ninjas. 3 men stroll in front of an audience and interfere with the exhibition. The adjudicator and no methodology from behind. She lets the chief know that her concurrence with the high table doesn't permit her to help John. She consents to show her fealty. The adjudicator requires her punishment to be paid in blood. Zero runs his sword through both her hands, yet leaves her alive. John and Sophia drive to the desert. John pricks his finger and signs the marker with his blood. Sophia's obligation is satisfied. Sophia gives the vast majority of the water to her canines. She gulps the rest in her mouth prior to spitting a significant piece back into the container. She lets John know that he will kick the bucket either here or later down the line. John strolls into the desert with the jug and she leaves. He strolls across sand hills for a day and an evening before he implodes. In the Bowery Lords perplexing, the ninjas severely cut down many gatekeepers. Zero and the adjudicator approach the Bowery ruler on the rooftop. He lets the adjudicator know that he will show fealty, however she says that he has gotten his opportunity. He is insubordinate and sends his pigeon out of danger before Zero gives him 7 cuts as discipline for the 7 shots he gave John. The Bowery Lord tumbles to the rooftop top. In the desert, a shrouded man runs over John. Then, at that point, John awakens in a tent. He is up close and personal with the senior, who illuminates him that he has never seen a man so lost. He asks him for what valid reason he needs to live. John says it is to recollect Helen. Thus, the senior gives him a decision. Pass on here or come the Bujuman once more, recalling through death. He can never be out, like he used to be, however he can switch the excommunicado. In return he should kill Winston. John concurs and vows fealty by removing his wedding band finger and gives the ring to the senior. The senior acknowledges his promise of fealty. He guides staff to assist him with planning for entry back to New York and gives him new garments. After showing up in New York, John encounters 2 professional killers. In any case, they are chopped somewhere near certain ninjas. The ninjas take John to see Zero. John and Zero are going to battle, however a line of younger students hinder them. John makes his getaway, killing 2 cruiser ninjas and taking a bike. Zero and his ninja professional killers pursue John. On the turnpike, while driving at high velocity, John kills a few blade-using rivals. Zero pursues him into the city, however the 2 of them crash close to the mainland. Since John has his hand on mainland grounds, Zero can't kill him. Charon takes John to a sitting area, and Zero follows. Here, he admits the amount of a fan he is. He lets John know that there's something very similar, however John disagrees. John reunites with his canine, however advises him to sit and remain once Winston is prepared to see him. Winston meets with John in a glass room utilized just when one needs to see what their rival conceals under the table. He realizes John is here to kill him and likes to be killed by a companion, yet lets John know that there is another way. He can pull the trigger and sell his spirit, perpetually turning into the Bujuman and working for the High Table, or he can stand and battle against the High Table, in the end biting the dust as the man his significant other adored. The adjudicator shows up to check whether Winston will step down. He will not. She inquires as to whether John will kill him. He will not. In this way, she pronounces the mainland desanctified. Business can now be led on its grounds, and the 2 men are targets. A portion of the Great Table's best will go along with them in no time. All notwithstanding, the situation being what it is, Winston sees it fit to re-establish John's honors. He requires firearms. Loads of firearms. John is displayed to the arms room where he is informed that the High Table have worked on their reinforcement and is suggested a more grounded type round. Winston secures himself in the arms protected while John, Charon and a few faithful men go to battle the surge of High Table thugs. Their protection is harder than anybody naturally suspected, so John needs to get very close. The adjudicator telephones Winston, asking how long he wants to keep the protection up. He puts the telephone down before she gets done with talking. Just John and Charon endure the High Table's most memorable wave. They refocus in the arms safe, where Charon acquaints him with a shield-penetrating shotgun. The subsequent wave shows up and John deals with them, the shotgun ready to brush their heads clear off. The adjudicator telephones Winston once more and inquires as to whether a parley may be gainful. He concurs. John advances toward the glass room from previously, where he is gone after by 2 ninjas and tossed through a few glass shows. In the end, he figures out how to kill both utilizing their own sword. He advances higher up, as Zero insults him through the glass, yet is gone after by 2 of Zero's best men. The shinobi get the advantage and have the chance to kill John, yet avoid doing as such to discuss the distinction of battling him. The battle resumes and they thump John down once more. As he battles to get back up, they talk about him being rusty in view of his new retirement. John removes his belt and plans it as a weapon. After an extended third round, where a drained John resorts to crotch kicks and ear slaps, John can play out a bang on arrival that breaks the glass ground and sends them all colliding with the lower floor. The shinobi can't get up, however John can. He leaves to proceed to view Nothing, who is on the upper floor. Zero and John have a long blade battle. In the long run, John gets the high ground by utilizing Zero's own vanishing stunt against him. Indeed, even though he's severely dying, Zero continues to battle until John pushes a blade straight through his chest. Broken down, the two men sit together. No discussions about how great the battle was, and tells John he will get up to speed to him. He will not. As John leaves, no downturns aside, dead, Winston and the adjudicator are on the rooftop, having a parley. She lets Winston know that this was only the main wave, that more will come, and that the mainland will fall. Winston answers by guaranteeing he could take the mainland back. His ties go further than these walls. He is New York. John shows up as the adjudicator concludes Winston's demonstration of force was a demonstration of fealty. She re-establishes the mainland and him as administrator, however lets him know that something should be finished about John. Winston concurs and shoots John a few times. The projectiles bob off his coat, however push him back until he tumbles from the rooftop, skipping on different things which fairly pad his fall. In any case, he raises a ruckus around town hard. The adjudicator is fulfilled. As the adjudicator leaves, she concludes she wants to really take a look at John's body. She re-enters the mainland and tells Winston the body is no more. She lets him know that they don't need John Wick coming after them. Winston concurs and murmurs Baba Yaga. The TikTok man wheels a truck as John's canine follows. He tips a battered and broken John out of the truck, who rolls to a stop before a shoddy lofty position. On the privileged position, drinking a pop, is the Bowery Lord. He is cut up seriously and advises John to lift a hand in the event that he can hear him. John's three-fingered hand goes up. The Bowery Lord discusses John's treachery and the high table's principles. He specifies that more things finish under the table, that he's, as a matter of fact, irritated. He inquires as to whether he's annoyed as well. John gradually raises his head. He's horrendous and has a recti, however he can in any case reply, definitely. Thanks for watching. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content like this.